Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria if you're new. I have finally rested up from 31 days of Halloween and we are here to celebrate Dia de los Muertos or Day of the Dead. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Dia de Muertos or Day of the Dead, it is a traditional Mexican holiday to celebrate and honor the life of deceased loved ones. While the way it is celebrated can vary between regions or even from family to family, it is often spent visiting the resting place of loved ones and setting up altars with their favorite foods, drinks, and photos. Now, it is celebrated in 2 to 3 days. The first day is Halloween or All Hallows Eve, where it is set at midnight. The gates of their eternal resting place are opened and they can visit their living relatives and loved ones. November 1st is known as Day of the Innocents or Dia de los Inocentes, or also known as Dia de los Angelitos, which is Day of the Little Angels. And it is reserved for infants or children who have passed away. And today, November 2nd, is Dia de los Muertos or All Souls Day. One of the most recognizable symbols and ways Dia de los Muertos is celebrated is, of course, the makeup. The sugar skull makeup, or also known sometimes as La Catrina makeup, which is what we are going to be doing today. If you are interested in learning more about the holiday and how it is celebrated, I will go ahead and link a few different resources in the description, so you can definitely check that out. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the makeup. Okay, so there are a million and one ways that you can go about doing sugar skull makeup. You can make it as simple or as glamorous as you like. I think today I'm going to do something a little in between. You can use your natural face as a base. You can be a little bit more traditional and paint your entire face completely white. I am also going to do a little bit of an in-between for that. You can use 1 to 2 colors. You can use the entire rainbow if you want to. I think today I'm going to mostly be sticking with reds, blacks, and golds. So I'm going to start off with my eyebrows. I'm just going to brush them and fill them in. They're mostly going to be blended in with the eye makeup. I just want them to be dark and filled in before I go and start that. I'm just using my brow pen from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the shade Dark Brown. Okay, now that my eyebrows are filled in, I'm actually going to apply my base. And for that, I'm going to be mixing my Giorgio Armani foundation with my Morphe White Concealer. So I'm just mixing a little bit and then I'm going to apply more of that concealer on top after everything is applied. And for this, I am not going to be blending down to my neck. I definitely want it only isolated on my face. And I'm actually almost out of my Morphe concealer, so I'm also going to use a little bit of my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that Milk pencil because I just want it a little bit wider. Now I'm just setting my face with my Master Fix setting powder from Maybelline because it is completely white and transparent. Don't want anything tinted. Okay, now I'm going to start with the eyes, and I want to use this dark charcoal shimmer from the Festival palette by Juvia's Place. So I'm going to start creating that shape that I want all over the eyes. So I'm mostly going to leave this center piece in the middle of my eye pretty open, maybe just taking a little bit of that shade, but I'm going to go in with like a bronze there. I'm also going to take a little bit of a brown eyeshadow. This is one from the Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place, this one here. I'm going to kind of apply that on the outer edge. And for that center, like I said, I'm going to apply some bronze, a little bit of gold. I'm going to use these two shades from the Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity palette. They are Corruption and Bronze. So I'm going to start off with that corner shade, which is Corruption. Blending in the sides with that same charcoal. And I'm going to take a little bit of that bronze color. I'm just patting that on top of that Corruption. I'm actually going to take a little bit of that bronze and Corruption and apply it on the outer edge, just a little bit from where I applied that brown eyeshadow. Now I'm going to do a winged liner. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to apply some black eyeshadow, but I'm going to avoid that center bronze color. So just on the outer edge and the inner. Gonna even take a little bit of that black up here and on the outer corner. Just slightly blending out this edge. Not too much, just to soften it so it doesn't look too harsh. I'm just gonna apply mascara and some lashes, and I'm going to do the other eye, and then we'll move on to the rest of the face. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face. And before I start drawing in other things, I'm going to bronze and blush. And I will be using my Laura Mercier Bronze 04 Matte Radiance Baked Powder. It's not a very heavy bronzer, and it is kind of got like a shimmer to it. I'm gonna start off with a very light hand. Something very light, don't want anything too heavy. For blush, I'm going to use a little bit of the shade Torrid from NARS. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my nose, and you can do a lot of different shapes. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in. Now around the edges, I want to add a little bit of shading, and I'm going to use a little bit of that charcoal shimmer that I used on my eyes. Now I'm just going to touch up the points on that nose. Now on the center of my nose, I'm going to take that same bronze color as well as that Corruption color. I'm starting with the Corruption. And then going back in with that charcoal and just blending that. Just take a little bit of white concealer and just touching up that center of the nose, that center gap. Now for my cheeks, there's a lot of ways you can do this as well. I'm just going to basically draw it kind of going like that. So I did like this side more, so I just fixed this side a little bit, took away some of that shading, and I'm going to go ahead and try to make it match the other side. Now I'm going to move on to the lips. I'm actually going to use a mix of two different colors. These are both from the Too Faced Holiday Melted Matte Minis. They are the shades Hot Toddy and Caramel Apple. So I'm going to start off with Hot Toddy, which is more of like a pinky mauve. Now I'm going to apply the Caramel Apple, which is like a orangey red. Now before this completely dries, I want to add a little bit of this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I love adding these on top of lipsticks that I want a little bit more of a muted tone to them. This is the shade Abu Dhabi. I either use this shade or the shade London. Both are very similar and very nude. And just on top of any lipstick, it really gives it like a muted wash. I'm gonna give that a second to dry, and then I'm going to start drawing the teeth or the lines on my lips. So I'm going to start with my black liner. I'm going to draw one in the middle. And then two on the peaks of my lips. I'm kind of drawing them as if they're curved around my lips as opposed to going straight down. The ones in the middle went straight down though. On the bottom, just matching those, but going around my bottom lip instead. Now, you can have fun with it. So I'm gonna draw these little, I don't even know what to call them, these little designs. I'm gonna draw 3. I don't even know how to explain what they are. You'll just kind of see what they are. I'm gonna draw some coming from the hollows of my cheeks. And these I'm gonna draw little dots on the ends. Now I am going to put like a little jewel here and on my chin. And I'm going to draw these little ones here. Okay, for the jewels, I'm going to start off with this big one here for the center of my forehead. And I'm just gonna use eyelash glue to stick that on. I'm just kind of like tilting back until I know that it's secure. For my chin, I'm going to use these smaller ones. And I'm gonna do a cluster of 3, so 2 and then 1, so like a triangle. From my chin ones, I'm going to draw some more of these kinds of designs coming out from it. So I've also added these here on the sides of my forehead one. I'm going to add a little tiny pear-shaped coming down from that center area. And I was thinking about putting some jewels underneath my eye, but it would just take a lot, and I kind of like the simplicity of it how it is right now. Okay, I am pretty much done. You can definitely go crazy and add so much more, do different designs and everything. I'm pretty happy with how this is right now. I'm just going to add my flower crown headpiece along with this beautiful lace choker that I got. I was actually going to wear it for a different look, one of my Halloween looks, but I didn't end up using it, and I think it's actually going to be perfect for this look. And this is my finished look for Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Like I said earlier, there are so many ways that you can make this your own. You can work with just a little bit of colors, all the colors, make it simple, make it super extravagant. It really is about how you want to celebrate. I think this is just one of the many beautiful ways to celebrate on Dia de los Muertos, to honor and celebrate the lives of our deceased loved ones. It's also one of the many ways that shows just how much this holiday celebrates life. If I'm being honest, celebrating Dia de los Muertos was not something that I grew up knowing or doing. And growing up, honestly, I am ashamed to say that I was ashamed of being seen as Mexican. And it was through this holiday that I actually really began to see the beauty in Mexican culture. So this holiday, aside from its meaning, also means something more to me, because really it was kind of an introduction back into my heritage and my culture. And while I can't change how I felt in the past, I know that I am very, very proud to be able to sit here in front of my camera and share with you a tutorial on how to do sugar skull makeup or like Catrina makeup in celebration of Dia de los Muertos. And even if you are completely unfamiliar with Mexican culture, I hope that this serves as a little intro, like it did for me, to just how beautiful the Mexican culture is. And for you to maybe learn a little bit about Dia de los Muertos and what it means. Feliz Dia de los Muertos. Happy Day of the Dead. If you are celebrating tonight, or even if you aren't, have a wonderful and safe night. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here with me. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.